Congressional leaders call on President Clinton to explain what's next in his Bosnia policy. And a small Arkansas town mourns 3 murdered boys and searches for their killer or killers. This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening, I'm Connie Chung. The latest ceasefire in Bosnia between the government and Serb rebels is still holding tonight and appears to be having some effect. At the very least, the truce gives President Clinton some breathing space to define and sell his policy to doubters at home and in Europe. Mark Phillips at the White House has more.
What passes for a ceasefire was more or less in effect in Bosnia today. A bit of quiet in Sarajevo, but not much hope that it would last.
I don't believe in peace, simply.
I have no any hope.
And another group of UN peacekeepers, this time Ukrainians, heading off for yet another besieged Muslim enclave, this time Zepa, trying to demilitarize it before the Serbs overrun it. Just another day in the three-sided bloodbath of Bosnia into which President Bill Clinton is considering stepping. And if U.S. intention and policy is as yet unclear, it's not for lack of advice. That was everywhere today, from the European allies urging unity and restraint.
We've got to be very careful against having Europeans thinking of the Americans as cowboys and Americans thinking of Europeans as wimps.
If administration policy is leaning toward arming the Muslims and providing air cover against the Serbs, then even the president's friends in Congress think the details have to be spelled out more clearly and sold to a skeptical public.
We have to find some way to end this process. This is a war in which I don't think we should be on the ground under any circumstances.
But there is anything but agreement on whether even going in through the air is a good idea.
I would not use air power just for random airstrikes. We tried that in Vietnam. It doesn't work. We tried it in Lebanon against the Syrians. It can get very expensive.
From all sides, the advice seems to be wait.
I would not use airstrikes as of today because there are some positive developments. The truce may be a real one.
This is primarily a civil war, but you will not solve the problem at 10,000 feet.
President Clinton now faces a double and contradictory task. He must convince the American public and the Europeans that the use of force is necessary, while at the same time continuing to apply pressure on the Serbs by convincing them that the threat of force is real. Mark Phillips, CBS News, the White House.
CBS News chief European correspondent Tom Fenton joins us live tonight from Belgrade, the Serbian capital. Tom, tell us, is this ceasefire likely to hold?
Well, I don't think that's the question. There is a turning point in the war now, but it's not because of the ceasefire. We've seen how they come and go, and this one particularly concerns only 2 of the 3 parties in the war. What's important right now is the split in the Serb camp. There is some evidence that the Belgrade Serbs are actually cutting off aid to the Bosnian Serbs, as they said they would, and if that's so, that's going to change the dynamics of this war.
Tom, I think what all of us are really wondering is whether Western leaders are prepared to proceed with military intervention.
Well, ironically, just as the threat of lowering the boom on the Serbs seems to be working, the West seems to be backing off. The European foreign ministers are meeting tomorrow, and the probability is that they will put off any decision on military intervention, citing the ceasefire or perhaps the Bosnian Serb referendum next weekend.
Is there some sort of game of chicken going on here?
Well, General Ratko Mladic, the Bosnian Serb leader, today said that he doubted that the United States would attack his forces, and given the mixed signals that the United States and the West seem to be given, I think he may be right.
And very quickly, Tom, is there a feeling among the European leaders that there is a lack of leadership here in the United States?
Well, that's one of the lessons we've learned from all this. Unless the United States, in this case President Clinton, takes a very strong lead, the Europeans aren't likely to do anything forceful.
Tom Fenton in Belgrade, thank you. In this country, a series of tornadoes has caused wide destruction in the Dallas suburb of Wiley. Officials say twisters carved through a shopping area, destroying cars and buildings. One resident called it a major disaster. So far, at least 25 injuries have been reported. Torrential rains touch off flash floods in Oklahoma City yesterday, killing 1 woman. Rescue workers are searching for a man and 2 children swept away from their cars by high waters. Governor David Walters has declared a state of emergency. Apparently, there is no escape from violence, not even in small-town America. Juan Vasquez reports on a vicious crime that has horrified residents in West Memphis, Arkansas.
On this Mother's Day in the small town of West Memphis, it was not the parents for whom they offered prayers, it was the children. A brutal